When you look at, obviously the outside of the big goal, which is making the postseason, making that run, and looking at some of the smaller things throughout the course of the year, what were some of the things that you guys kind of targeted in on to focus on as you played and went through, and how do you guys feel like that you hit those marks and achieved those goals?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was playing to the Idaho Steelheads identity, which throughout the history of the team has been, like a hard, gritty, skilled game. You can play the tough physical game while still being able to be able to make plays, and I think that's what we tried to, be as a team. I think that's the identity we tried to form, and I think bringing in, the guys that we have, and coach putting together like the different game plans that we had, I think that was something that we did really well. Unfortunately, we didn't make the playoffs, big picture, but I think a big part of this season and a big part of the way the Idaho Steelheads play is keeping to that identity. Being a Western team in the Mountain Division, that's usually the type of teams you run into, the type of teams that have the same identity as us. So being able to keep to that and hit goals throughout the season of, we have a thing in the locker room where we break our season into chunks, and at the beginning of the season we were hitting them really well, hitting our goals. Unfortunately, we strung together a few tough games and a few tough weekends where it started getting harder to string together some wins and meeting those goals. But I think the biggest thing was, being a team that the city could be proud of and that we could be proud of at the end of the day. And I think by playing to that identity, we did that.
You had a pretty special connection with the city from growing up here and being able to play for this team throughout the course of the season. We talked about it a little at the start of the year and throughout the season, but thinking back on it now, how special was it for you to play for your hometown team, a team that you grew up watching and grew up seeing for years and years?
It's hard to put into words. Special is the word I use, super unique. It was a lot of fun. I was fortunate enough to play in Pensacola last year and had fun there. But being able to come back to a city that I know and a city that I have roots in is a homecoming. I made a lot of friends, new friends this season, whether they were fans or people that I was able to meet through team functions or booster events or things like that. I was able to, make new connections and see other parts of the city throughout the year that I haven't been able to see, it makes it super worthwhile and super memorable to have done those things and been able to go out to dinner with a new family friend or chat with someone that I went to high school with, and being able to put on a jersey and skate out there. It's special is the word I use, and it's unfortunate that it ended the way it did, but like I've been saying, I wouldn't change the way that I approached it or the team approached it throughout the year.
The guys have talked about the room and the type of group you guys had. What made, in your eyes, this group so special for you?
I think just being able to be yourself. I think that's a huge relief and huge comfort when you come into a team. There's a lot of different personalities and characters that you're throwing into a locker room and hoping that each piece fits and that everything works together. And being able to have that puzzle fit pretty well with the different types of people we had is, I think, the biggest part. Being able to come to the rink and be comfortable with yourself, whether that's being goofy or serious, being able to joke around with guys and not feel take it personal. I think that's a big part of being able to gel together as a team and make things work. Being able to communicate, I think, is a huge part, and then being able to make each personality work with one another, whether that's me being able to be serious with Colton Keller, or and then being able to take things a little bit more seriously with Darren Brady or something. Being able to read off of each other and communicate and work together to make our ends meet as a team is important. I think that was what was so special about this group. And in addition, our leadership, our coaching staff, Coach Kelly and Coach Sheen are super young, which isn't a bad thing, and being able to relate to them in a personal and professional manner makes things work. They relate to us as players. They know what we've been through and what we're going through, so being able to have them as our core and as our head of the team is something special too.
Have you thought about what you're going to do as you kind of head into the off season?
No idea. Plan is to drive home to Nashville, hang out, maybe take a lot of time off. Unfortunately the season did end early, so we've got some time till next season. Let the bumps and bruises heal. Trying to get married, so we'll see how that goes, but definitely take some time and get ready for next season.